Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kedington News. There's so much that's going to be happening in the marvellous Meadowlark month of June that I'm giving the events listing an entire episode all to itself. But don't worry, there's still a huge amount for this episode with what Kedington got up to in the merry month of May. And we start with that ancient and mysterious ceremony, the Kedington Duck Race. There are villages and towns that celebrate May Day with some kind of ancient pagan implication of the spirit of spring, or some kind of green lord or other. Likewise, the people of Kedington gather in an ancient tradition stretching back more than a decade, dedicated to the spirit of standing around having a good natter, and the Lord of the Ducks, otherwise known as the Kedington Duck Race. Ceremonies began, as is tradition, just upstream from the Silver Street Park Bridge, as our Master of Ducks, Neville, released 600 little yellow plastic ducks into the water.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release the ducks! Woo!
The ducks' fate to race through the village between the green banks of the River Stour, encouraged by a small team of duck herds in their traditional wetsuits. The lead duck herd picked out by the magnificent chief duck herd's hat. Always a popular event, the riverbank was thronged by locals, taking this not just as a chance to watch 100 ducks drift past or take a punt on which would be first to reach its ultimate destination, but to meet with friends and other folks from the village community. The true meaning of the race is lost in the mists of time. Some say it was to raise something in the region of £1,000 for the Church Restoration Fund. Others that it's a metaphor for the journey through life, sometimes drifting slowly, sometimes dragged along at a frantic speed.
Here they come. It's amazing once they hit a shallow, isn't it?
I can't see the numbers. Oh, 3, 1, 2, 4. 5, 3.
As the ducks proceeded through the challenges of the river, the people of Kedington gathered at the end of the course, some enjoying a feast of hot dogs and burgers, as they prepared for the big finish of the event. For in all stories, the heroes must face great tests, and for our little yellow heroes, the greatest test is the weir.
Hey! Woohoo! Hey! But who will be first one out of the weir?
Those ducks that struggle free of the weir's maelstrom make their way serenely across the final few feet of the course.
They're coming.
Very serenely. to the race's end, where they find, well, in this case, me, waiting to gather them up in what is presumably some kind of metaphor for death, where I turn them over and read out the number on their bottoms, so the winner might be known.
And the winner! Who's taking notes here? The winner is 391! That's not mine.
Indeed, whoever backed the first duck won £25. It is perhaps poetic that, following that, all the ducks, winner or not, are collected up and put in a big sack, there to languish equal and together, until we do this all again next year. June will be Meadowlark month. That means we'll need a Miss Meadowlark, and this month we saw the contest decide who that would be. Taking place on a Friday night, the community centre welcomed a large group of girls and boys competing to be either Miss Meadowlark 2017 or one of her attendants. Hopefuls went one at a time to be interviewed by the judges, and while they waited for the opportunity, they were entertained in a full-on party style with fun, music, games and a dance contest. But finally, it was time for the hopefuls to parade down the red carpet prior to the big announcement.
We're going to start with introducing candidate number 1 for the attendance, Grace. Big round of applause.
Did she say?
Maddie. Woo! Come on, let's woo woo. The lovely Daisy. And next, Lizzie. Ruby. Oh. And the lovely Erin. Woo! These are fun. Lola. And then afterwards we have Jessica. The lovely, walk down slowly on that red carpet, Tash! The lovely Maddie! Come on, Maddie! Oh, your sister! Would you like to introduce yourself? There we go, she got it right. And you're going to introduce yourself. Eve! It's Eve! And lovely Iris! And we have lots of lovely, the lovely Sophia. Come on, Sophia. So, now we have our Miss Meadowlark Sanctuary Place Maestro with music. And first on panel is the lovely Alicia. And Jessica. And lovely Liz. Woo! And the lovely Ellen. And the very, very, very special Mr. Jack Barney. Show us how it's not done.
First to be announced were Miss Meadowlark's 2 attendants.
So the attendance of 2017 are...
Okay, so our first Miss Meadowlark attendant is... Olivia Nichols.
place, it was time to announce Miss Meadowlark herself.
Right, and the winner is Elise.
Massive round of applause for Elise, Miss Meadowlark 2016!
So, congratulations to all the winners, and we'll be seeing Olivia, Jasmine, and of course Miss Meadowlark herself, Elise, next month throughout Meadowlark Week. The Miss Meadowlark contest was part of a busy weekend for Kedington, as it also contained Kedington's first ever Jigsaw Festival. That took place at Kedington Church over the Saturday and Sunday and featured well over 400 jigsaws that had been completed by various people from around Kedington over the last few months. A monumental feat of puzzle solving. 400 jigsaws take up more space than even Kedington's historic Church of St Peter and Paul has to offer. So, as the weekend progressed and jigsaws were sold, more appeared in an ever-changing display of puzzle art. As well as jigsaws to view and buy, there was a tombola for unopened jigsaws, jigsaws for children to complete, and puzzles within puzzles, like how many films can you spot in this jigsaw? There were also these cunningly created cards made from incomplete jigsaws, a brilliant way to use jigsaws with a piece missing. It was a very successful weekend with hundreds of visitors that raised in the region of £1,000 for Kedington Church Restoration Fund. The penultimate weekend of the month saw Ketton Players return to the stage of the Kedington Community Centre with an excellent pair of one-act comedies showing once again their experience and ability to entertain. The players took on two very different comedies, the first of which was Departure, set in an airport departure lounge somewhere in the 1980s. This play introduces its audience to two pairs setting off on holiday. One, a mother with very definite opinions on life, and her dominated daughter.
That's not the attitude, Mandy. The joys of motherhood and marriage far outweigh the disadvantages. And anyway, you can't remain under my wing all of your life. You must build your own nest while there's still time. We don't want you ending up on the shelf now, do we?
No, Mum.
The other, a bigoted husband and a wife who has just about had enough of him.
You were supposed to be looking after my bag. You know they're not allowed to be left unattended here.
What do you think? The toilet ladies' toilet at Gatwick, the top terrorist target.
I wasn't outside the toilets. It was down beside your seat.
Anyway, no self-respecting terrorist to carry a bomb in a bag like that.
The mother, Rosemary, played by Jo Nicholas, is taking her 29-year-old daughter Mandy, played by Ella Rosso, on a Spanish holiday in hope of finding her some holiday romance to get her married off to.
Meeting people on holiday is one of the best ways to get to know them. Catch them off guard while they're away from their normal way of life.
We quickly learn of Rosemary's incredible ability not just to talk the hind leg off a donkey with her stream of inane and dubious opinions, but indeed to irritate the hell out of people without ever realising it.
But I thought we were here because that rude man told you to sod off.
No, Mandy. You'll have to forgive him. He was obviously feeling unwell. After I'd been talking to him for half an hour, I noticed his face turning a very funny colour. I think he must have been coming down with some sort of erotic disease.
She is indeed ever keen to help, in the same way a pet cat might be when one is trying to tie up one's laces. We also discover that the husband and wife pair of Dennis and Sheila, played by Peter Upton and Sue Brown, are also heading to Spain. In their case, because Sheila is hoping it might save their fast deteriorating marriage.
Yeah, I might as well talk to that brick wall. Get any sympathy from you.
Sorry, Dennis.
No. You know what you're doing. I'll just keep quiet and let you get on with your knitting. I mean, there's obviously all the stimulation your mind requires.
Oh, no, you carry on. It does wonders for my pullovers. I knit twice as quick when we're having a row.
We discover this along with the main cause for the deterioration, which appears to be that Dennis is unendingly grumpy, unashamedly selfish, and unpalatably racist.
Oh dear. Is your husband prejudiced?
Well, I wouldn't say that. It doesn't matter what colour, creed or culture they are. Dennis doesn't discriminate. He hates them all.
It's the interplay between Dennis and Rosemary that makes up the main plank of the play, and also proves the acting experience and talent of the cast. When one has such unpleasant and irritating characters, it is important that they are irritating only to one another. After all, who wants to spend the evening in the company of characters who irritate you? All the cast manage to avoid this trap and only irritate each other, while giving us plenty of laughs from characters who are a pleasure to watch, albeit from the safety of the audience. A real credit to director Celia Bramwell.
I'm sure we'll enjoy it. We're easily pleased, aren't we, Mandy?
Yes, Mum.
Is your husband feeling any better?
Better?
Yes, hasn't he been ill?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's why he couldn't come, sorry.
No. He just had some business to attend to. He couldn't get away at the last minute.
Oh, I see.
So you'll have to make do with me, I'm afraid.
Yes. Oh, no. Not at all. We'll tremendously appreciate your being here.
This evening's second play was Alan Ayckbourn's Gosforth's Fate, in this case directed by Sue Brown. Ketton Players have put on this brilliant farce before, but it really does bear repeating, and this production made the most of every opportunity for laughs in this excellent script.
That sounds ominous. Oh, Billy, my darling.
Yes, Gordon.
These are some prizes for the races. Half a dozen bottles of sherry. Would you put them under the table where the cubs can't get at them?
The play is a farce set in the midst of a disastrous village fete, with the second choice of special guest turning up to find things well behind schedule, malfunctioning, in serious risk of falling down, swarming with out-of-control Cub Scouts, and under threat from gathering storm clouds, both atmospheric and personal. From there on, everything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Bad news over there, Gosforth.
What's happened?
For a cast of misfits led by Rob Nicholas in the guise of fate organiser Gordon Gosforth, who is about to have his pomposity popped when the head of the tea tent, Millie Carter, played by Carolyn Royston, a welcome return to Ketton Players, accidentally announces that he has got her pregnant, and is accidentally overheard not just by Gordon, but everyone within 4 acres, including her fiancé Stuart, played by Leslie Potter, making an excellent debut to the Ketton Players stage.
You bastard, Gosforth!
Meanwhile, Peter Upton made his second appearance of the night, this time as the local vicar on a mild-mannered quest to find and rescue the now missing wife of the local councillor, played by Celia Bramwell, from the Weather and Evil Cub Scouts, played in mischievous fashion by William Garwood, Ben Farr and Adam Everett. The cast worked brilliantly to slowly ramp up the chaos and the hilarity towards a classic fast crescendo and perfectly pitched end to the evening. So Ketton Players complete another production in excellent style, and so next month they will be having a read-through and auditions for their Christmas panto. If you want details of that, you'll want to catch our next episode, a full events listing for everything coming up in June, including many marvellous Meadowlark events and the open gardens. And if you want to catch that, you could, for instance, subscribe to this very YouTube channel, or you could go to www.kedingtonnews.co.uk, and I have a link from there also to my Facebook page, and I will mention on my Facebook page as well whenever any new episodes come up, so you could friend me there. Until that time, cheerio.